It's been a while, Arlecchino. You look well. Did Dottore really have to build his lab right on the sole path between Snezhnaya and Nodcry? Had to go on a huge detour to stay out of its line of sight.
Sounds like an arduous journey. I assume you've brought word from her
Of course, all part of the job. Firstly, the Tsaritsa has authorized Fatui Internal Affairs to review Dottore's case. They will reach a formal verdict on whether he has turned traitor and whether he poses a threat to Snezhnaya. While they're working on that, I've been ordered to come and receive the refugees from
They are nearby. My team will escort you to them.
Great. Aside from that, Her Majesty has a message for you and Sandrone.
She stayed behind to work since I was making the trip anyway. It seemed sensible to have one person on standby at base while the other...
All right, guess that's just how she rolls. In that case, tell her that the Tsaritsa's decree this time is pretty awesome sounding. Still, I wonder what... Did one of our troops turn into a monster?
Take him out.
Tidal wave. Riptide. You're mine. You've gotten stronger, Arlecchino. Nice.
Stop that right now. I appreciate the praise, but I am not fighting you today.
I knew it. I can't believe it. He was a living, breathing human one moment.
Another fine piece of work by our dear colleague.
What in the world has been going on in the...
A lot. But long story short, Dottore stole 2 moon marrows that should have belonged to Columbina, then built a 3rd moon marrow of...
What? What do you mean he built a moon marrow? People build roads and houses, not moon marrows. What's his next DIY project? He's gonna build a god?
You could stand to be less surprised. We are harbingers. The work we are engaged in makes the creation of gods seem mundane. I tell everyone who asks that you once crossed swords with Rex Lapis while serving as a key supporter for Rosaline's plan. But right now, you're acting...
Thanks for speaking up for me. Those two really took... Then again, surely no common adventurer would manage to get tangled up with them the way I did. That's got...
It almost sounds like you wish to repeat the experience. I might have to lower my...
No. I'll stop...
Dottore is currently still experimenting with his newfound power in ways that continue to corrode the outside world. As for the human mutation, I believe this is simply a consequence of his experiments. That radiant beast was once a subordinate of Sandrone's. I suspect he was only allowed to live so that he could become an experimental subject. Also, those of us who fought Dottore have been afflicted with a curse.
This is so much worse than I thought. No wonder Her Majesty's decree is so While these exceptional circumstances persist, the Harbingers are hereby authorized to use unilateral executive powers. Should Dottore pose a threat, Arlecchino and Sandrone are permitted to eliminate him.
My thanks to Her Majesty. I will pass these good tidings.
Her Majesty has also declared that she will refrain from launching an attack on the now evacuated Nodcry, due to the presence of unretrieved research.
A wise decision.
By the way, how's my old partner doing?
Partner? You mean the Traveler? I'm afraid I have bad news. He was captured after our failed assault in Dottore's lab. His whereabouts are current...
What? Why? Since when?
That is indeed the question. I'm not sure he...
This won't do. I have to rescue him.
You can't. We have no idea where the
What am I supposed to do then? Stand here
Sandrone is working on it. The best thing you can do right now is complete.
Fine. I guess I'll...
One last thing. Tell the rooster to get the message out to the gods and citizens of every nation in Teyvat. Beware. An uncontrollable pollution is spreading. The source of that pollution is a madman drunk on the success of his experiments. The Fatu... However, if Nodcry falls, things are... Considering Dottore is one of our own, all Fatui stationed in Nodcry consider it our duty to...
Hey, don't be too pessimistic. If it comes to it, I'm sure Her Majesty won't...
I hope you're right.
You're right on time.
Thanks. Hey, do you think I'll get that gliding exam exempt? I made sure I was on my best behavior in Mondstadt. I landed well outside the city and walked...
I'll help you apply, don't worry. For now, let's see what we have here.
What are the doctor's energy fields even made from? The usual attract and repel principles that govern Kuvaki don't seem...
They are very mysterious. But ultimately, thanks to research by Master and the Hexen Circle, we know that Teyvat's 7 elements are derived from the more primordial power of the Light Realm, which is antagonistic with the power of the Void Realm. Since you have the power of the Dragon Durin within you, I'm sure you can already tell that this energy field contains no abyssal...
That's true. It's not abyssal...
I've been thinking about something. Do you still remember the device that Dory supplied from the Academia? When you... That was one of the most marvelous feats of ingenuity I've ever seen. The design, the craftsmanship, the material selection. I couldn't fault any of it. Not to mention the operating principles. Surely the most ingenious feature of all. Dory didn't go into detail on how it functions, but I have a working theory. The clue was that Miss Columbina was somehow able to use the pyro energy that you provided, despite the fact that, as a moon goddess, she should only be able to use light realm energy in principle. Now, all elemental energy is, of course, derived from light realm energy to begin with. Hence, this presumes a theoretical model of the 7 elements akin to that of light refracted through a prism. Perhaps it is no near enough. I almost wonder if the idea for the device was conceived based on direct observations of said prism. It would explain how such an ironclad design concept was. It is at once a masterwork of engineering and a groundbreaking application of the Academia's latest elemental theories. I suspect only Lesser Lord Kusanali herself could have devised it. But back to the energy field before us. If this is pure light realm energy, its relation to elemental energy is one of integration versus division. Or you could say that the former contains the latter. Could this mean that elemental energy can dilute the...
Should we give it a try?
We should.
Ha! It worked!
Clear signs of disruption were detected at the periphery of the energy field. This indicates that elemental energy can disturb or even negate the field. Now you try.
Alright, here... It's...
Switch to abyssal energy and attack again. No surprises there. Abyssal power drains the energy field to a significantly... I now feel confident in asserting that the energy field is indeed pure light realm energy, and that elemental energy can dilute it.
But the energy field is huge. How much...
We don't have to neutralize it completely. That's all for theory. Would you like to continue watching?
So you knew I was here.
Huh? When did you get here?
A while ago. But Albedo sounded like he was working on his thesis defense back there. Back in Sumeru. You can end a person's whole career by interrupting them mid-speech.
Very thoughtful of you. I'm truly touched.
With what?
A little test. Try using anima to unleash a concentrated assault with circular blades, with the goal of...
Nice! This time it tore through the field.
Tremendous.
Should we go through?
We probably shouldn't risk having mutually antagonistic energies in such close proximity. Durin?
Sounds sensible to me. Keep your eyes peeled, Durin.
Don't worry, I got this. You two be careful in there. Just give me the signal if...
What do you mean, signal?
It's based on a new alchemical concoction I developed last month. When 2 bottles of it are smashed on the ground together, they emit a blinding burst of light. If it comes to that, remember to...
Glad I asked. Thanks for that.
Like I thought. Beyond a certain distance, we can't see the opening where we came in. Maybe that's to prevent people from escaping.
Sounds like Dottore's style to me. Not much has changed. Things are basically the same here as they were before the energy field appeared.
Squall Fury! Behold! Ah!
They have no heartbeat and they're not breathing. We can only assume they're dead. But there are no visible... Also...
It's watching us. That's not an ant.
What are you trying to tell us?
Doesn't seem eager to talk. I guess maybe it's just an animal after all.
Let's keep looking around.
Same situation everywhere. Not a living soul in sight. Just can't...
Well, I think we can safely rule out the possibility that they're all pets.
Is skirting around the topic your way of showing consideration for other people's feelings?
Just being cautious. I don't doubt that you can handle the truth.
Careful.
Please, help us. Please. Over there. I hear... Please, help us. What happened
don't know. Suddenly, I still have some of my senses.
It looks like there's a huge experiment going on inside this energy field. Maybe each energy field is its own giant experiment.
He's swapping human minds with those of animals. Those people may have lost their sense of selves, but they are not fully animals either. If they were, they would have left. But instead...
We should go. No sense.
Agreed.
Squall Fury! Behold! You're back!
We saw some things that take a strong stomach.
We should share our findings with the others.
Yes? Who is it?
Miss Nefer, it's me. We found a way to break through the energy fields. With enough control, it's possible to tear them open using elemental... Also, we managed to take a look inside. Dottore is carrying out his cruel experiments on an immense scale. Any residents who have failed to evacuate in time will likely meet a grisly end.
Sounds like he's living down to our...
Might I ask how things are proceeding on your end?
I'm just about to get started. I'll be in touch once I have a result.
Understood.
I will.
Well, Nefer, I'll link up with you once my tasks are
What makes you think I'd need you to do that?
I'll need it. And considering the way you approach certain matters...
Let's begin. Entering simulation mode. A vast wasteland. Is this... I was expecting something more... Wait.
What are you looking at? In that case, I want to know all about everything. Is there somewhere I should return to? Or should I stay here and be the hero everyone says I am? I don't dislike my current life. Roaming the land, fighting battles, accomplishing missions, earning a living, looking after Paimon. It's not so bad. I guess the only thing that's missing is that you're not here.
This is the conscious layer, which contains a person's true feelings. It is filled with...
I suppose anyone who lives long enough ends up wishing for someone who can't be there. Maybe it's the only way we can feel truly alive.
Time to delve a little deeper.
Nasha Town is hardly the optimal choice for a place to live, but it has character and a reasonable population density.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, don't be nervous. I was just thinking where might make a good starting point for your journey. Perhaps I should send you further afield. Conria, perhaps.
Conria ceased to exist long...
Once again, you fail to understand the possibilities that the Tri-Lune... You simply do not wish to see that happen. That might be because you miss your sibling and fear getting answers that you are not ready to learn. But this is not for me to judge. If we are to collaborate, we need to maintain an amicable relationship. In a moment, you will be able to...
Oh no.
What are you... What are you gonna do?
Don't move. Something unwanted has crept into... Oh.
Did you save me?
If I hadn't cut the connection, Dottore might have caught you from the other side and destroyed you. This was a good idea, but once is plenty. You were exceptionally brave.
Thanks, but now's not the time for that.
Albedo speaking.
I think I know where he is.
What is this endless dark? I can't see anything. Even though my... What happened?
Ah, sorry about that. I take it you didn't notice. Just now, a friend of yours took a little peek.
Could it be Nefer? How did she do it? Did she use something?
Do you think she's aware of your current circumstances? Oh dear. Have I stunned you into silence? I only wanted to slow down your time a little so I could stop your intruder in her tracks. I must say, I'm finding the ability to adjust the flow of time rather intriguing. The moment you closed your eyes, time seemed... A whole month passed before you opened your eyes again. But only for you. No one else was affected.
Point taken. You've proven once again...
Oh, you misunderstand. This wasn't about proving a point. I only wanted to make you sleep for a short while, but it ended up lasting a whole month. Clearly some finesse is required to... I hope you're not angry with me. It was only a month's discrepancy, nothing too serious. Had I been off by a year, a decade, or even a century, that would have...
You could have frozen me for millions of years. So much for collaboration. You aren't showing...
Millions of years? I wonder if you don't understand humans all that well. They are very pragmatic creatures who understand only... If I had you sit here for a week, I imagine people might sympathize. But if I left you here for 100, 1,000, or 10,000 years, the sheer size of that number would cause it to lose all meaning to them. They would... Unfortunately, while gods do exist in Teyvat, it is ordinary Their lifespans are so limited, their bodies so fragile. Did you ever really hope that they could begin to understand? Your long life and unique origins make you fundamentally different from them. How long will it be?
Alien?
Even I feel bad for you sometimes. This world has made you into a slave. So many times you have served its will, and not once have the powers that be ever thought to grant you the one simple thing you wish for. You have been treated... I can change that. I will grant you special privileges, and give you back the status you rightly deserve as a descender.
I've entered the past 3 times at this point. For instance, beyond each point being further back in time than the last. So far, the common thread linking all 3 scenarios, but it's more than that. I'll keep this question in mind as I keep...
Humans, you never change. Always trying to...
This looks like Star Sand Shoal. Was this before Rerir regained his physical form?
You messed with the cannon again, huh? Sorry.
The cannon. That's right. I was at Silver, and right after that, came an ominous power emanating from...
My body was once torn into countless pieces and hurled into the swirling chaos of time.
I wonder if I could try to prevent his rest, but how would I do it? What can I...
Traveler! Behind you! Look at that light!
No, I won't... He's using the Kuvaki shield, like I taught him. Is he going to use it to block? He's strong. I'm sure he can manage. But the force released when the beam impacts the shield... He's the island. The Frost Moon Scions...
A question, if I may. Kind, Miss Columbina. When the cannon's Kuvaki beam was deflected earlier, I saw several bolts of energy streak toward Hisi Island, only to be blocked.
Maybe that really was me after all. Well, future me. There's no time. I have to make... Oh, Frost Moon. Oh, great land. Oh, if you can hear me, if you can sense my call, then please, heed me once more! Did it work?
Hey, wake up. Hey, did you... Columbina! I said...
Oh.
It's 3 in the afternoon, actually. And could you come...
And your coffee, right? It's so bitter, but it smells lovely.
It's like you were raised by wolves in a forest or something. What did you drink growing up? Grass tea?
The Frost Moon Scions certainly led a more frugal existence than the...
Then I'll bet you've never eaten one of these before.
It smells delicious.
That's because it's a Fontanian recipe. I had a little free time. Rosaline will be here shortly, but if you really can't wait, I guess... Hey, at least let me finish before you start eating! Did the rules not apply to you because you're the high and mighty moon goddess? Of course they are. I made them.
I was worried they might contain traces of machine oil.
What? You know, there's something I've always wanted to ask you. I mean, I'm sure their food was awful. But...
Well, life there didn't go quite...
What were you expecting? You're a god. Your fault. Surely you can just answer a few prayers here and there in return for the free food and drink. How big?
Well, would you help other people just for free food and drink? The doctor told me that you were created by a great mechanic, Lord something Fisher.
The Lord Artificer. Ugh, some people can't keep their mouths shut.
Oh, Lord Artificer. And didn't he have something to do with the, narcissist?
Narcissenkreuz Ordo.
Yes, that was it. Narcissenkreuz Ordo. So...
But you must be joking. I wouldn't go even if they paid...
Exactly. Well, I felt the same way.
What do you know? We're on the same... In his later years, Alan did ask me if there was anything I wanted to do. if I had any wishes of my own. Well,
Who's Alain?
He was the... You know what? Never mind. You're not gonna remember. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, neither of us is this... Let me ask you this. What sort of place would you like to live in?
A place where people don't ask me for things I cannot give them. I'd also like the freedom to come and go as I please. And ideally, it would be somewhere with the smell of coffee and snacks.
Not to burst your bubble, but no such place exists in the world. Now, take your snacks and scram.
Did I? Of course. I dreamed of events from Sandrone. I miss you all back there. I guess I managed to harness all the Kufa. Time is flowing backwards here. And I can use that familiar that mystery ally everyone talked about. I can sense that there isn't much more power. What lies at the end of all of this? Will time end? Will I ever... It's getting harder and harder to use my power. I'm no match for the Abyss in this state. I need to avoid the contaminated fragments. Time to go. I wonder where I'll find myself this time. The Final Night Cemetery. This is where Flint's is based.
Or not!
Difficult, yes. But it is also our most...
Seems like they're searching for information. Oh, I remember. Was this my doing too?
To expose the true intentions of this Rerir, we...
Are my actions changing the past? Or are they simply completing a process? Is all of this inevitable? Or if I choose not to help them now...
Hope we don't land on our heads then.
They're my friends. I can't not help them.
Ghost!
And the other one was... here.
Hey! Another file's moving!
That should do it. Luanatar? You... can... Wait! Luanatar. So she's that familiar presence I've been sensing all along. She's always been by the Traveler's side. That explains why the Traveler has been... But why Luanatar? Is it because she has a connection to me as the... That's... sense any power up ahead. Just up. This is likely my final chance to enter the path. It's now or never. Hisi Island? Where's Luanatar? I can't...
Seeing Enefa and Aino reunite...
No. Stay calm. I don't have... Think, Columbina. How... a way back do I... go back to Moon Prayer Night? Or to the future that... And if I return in my current state... Dottore's actions that day prove that he'd been planning that for a long time. He had already... Even if I managed to get back... How can I fight against him? I can't. If I go back like... I have to find some way of rivaling the power he is... Wait. Does that mean... I know what I must do.
Speaking of homes, we must already be close to where the Frost Moon Scions live. The vibe here...
But how do I communicate? Should I write it down here? No, I need something with a close connection to me. Something...
Hey, what was that? Feel like some sort of breeze blew by.
It was I who brought Luanatar into being. That's why I could sense a familiar power from the moment I entered this space. It also explains why she's been present in every past location that I've entered. Because we have a deep connection.
Hey there!
And the reason why there are no more gates to the past after this point is that No wonder I sensed the trace of a blessing when we first met. But I still... Back then, I was just a little lost dove. I had yet to become...
Go on now. We've got stuff to do.
Hey, you scared it?
I'll be counting on you. Remember to stay by the traveler's side. Guide him. Oh, and bring him to the garden where the moon prayer blossoms grow. There's a little lost dove there who will need his help. You too. As for mine...
How would you like to experience the thrill of never being held accountable for your actions? You could crush people like ants without consequence. Believe me, such a life is but one small...
What point is he trying to make? Freedom? Why would you offer me that?
The creation of a world is the ultimate scientific experiment. I have taken my research to the highest level, where I shall be not just a god, but also a servant to many. A god's laboratory is the perfect playground. But mortals are found everywhere one looks. Not so with Descenders. I'd prefer my first guest to be a distinguished individual such as yourself. And I know you could make the most of the opportunities it offers.
So the condition for entering the new world is to take innocent lives. And the same, could I really bring myself to kill others for my own benefit?
Have you made up your...
Your playground is no place for me. You're putting your hopes in the wrong person. But we both know I'm not quite the hero you say I am either. I have my own reasons for the journey I'm on. And they aren't all selfless.
You've grown a lot since we last met. But there are still things you are unwilling to... Why don't I lower my requirements a little as a gesture of goodwill? I'll give you a little time to learn to be a less noble soul.
I really doubt I could live.
And yet you already sound less defiant than a moment ago. The benefits appeal to you because you can read the signs of the time. Why don't we return to my research facility? Your last visit was so rushed. Now to that question,
Heroes don't attack from behind. Guess I'm no hero.
This is most disappointing. Now then. A new face. Interesting.
You're still gonna call me Hat Guy after that, huh? I didn't see anyone else in there who needed saving. It's nothing. Why are you looking at me like that? Is it that shocking that I'd come to your rescue? I owed you a favor back in Sumeru. Now we're even. Distracting Dottore was tough. He's not gonna fall for the same trick twice. That was my... I never wanted to obliterate Dottore doesn't recognize me. But his segments were originally made based on an analysis of my operational principles. I expect it's only a matter of time before he figured...
So Dottore doesn't recognize Wanderer because he deleted himself from Irminsul. Did he really miss his only chance for revenge by saving me?
Why the long face? Hey, and I'm not complaining either. Rescuing you and killing Dottore are equally important goals. Everyone would be pretty stuck without you.
How are you holding up? Hat Guy said to put safety first, so we agreed to run as far away as we could after leaving the energy field, and only meet up once...
You don't look injured. It seems that Dottore didn't...
Alright. Rescue operation complete. There's a lot more work to be done before this is over.
Understood. I will bear the Sarit's. I don't see what's so awesome about it, though. Does he really think everyone else is immature?
I thought you might say that. How's your progress?
Quite promising, actually. That alchemist Albedo gave me a few Remember how I asked you to look up some files for me? That stuff on the Nachtschützenkreuz Institute. René de Petrichor and Jakob Ingold. Alain Guilton despised René's theories and methods, but he never managed to come up with better alternatives either. So I adopted some of René.
I thought Alain was like a father to you. He and René were mortal enemies, were they?
And what would you say if Lenny and his friends one day learned something useful from someone you utterly detested?
I would applaud them for it. That would mean that they have surpassed me.
For all we know, Alain Guilton might have thought the same thing. Not that it matters, though. He's dead, and I'm alive. Once you die, it doesn't matter how great you were in life. Only the living get to decide what happens next.
Hey, come on out. They're back.
Huh? You're back? And your head's still screwed on? And you still have all your limbs?
What does it look like? Way to keep your composure, madam.
Excuse you. I am...
Glad you're okay. Yes, it's a huge relief.
Worry? Oh, yeah, right. You think we, the Fatui, were worried about you?
We were worried sick.
Hey!
The Traveler and I were already friends. You are free to join this mission in whatever capacity you please.
I must say, I was quite surprised when Mr. Albedo told me he would need no additional aid.
We discussed this on our way back as well. I am rarely so unequivocal, but in this case, we had full confidence in Hat Guy.
He said he knew what he was doing. Albedo and I pretty much had to just wait outside on standby. Meanwhile, Hat Guy broke into the energy field and rescued the Traveler solo.
You didn't have to mention that.
Well, I'm thoroughly impressed. You are a force to be reckoned with, Hat Guy.
Is he back? Is he really back? Traveler! It's really you!
You can finally breathe easy, Paimon.
It's great to have you back in one piece! Paimon's... look at them. You know, once you reach my age, there's nothing better than watching a misty-eyed reunion between friends.
It's nothing. Same goes when you get to my age, too. I bet Ino and Nefer would be tearing up as well if they were here.
Varka.
Oh, yeah, good point. Hey, your eyes are looking at...
What? Ew, no!
Everyone, I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you. But the silver lining, while I was being held captive, I learned a lot about Dottore's current capabilities, and what he plans to do with...
The three moon goddesses were even more powerful than we imagined. No wonder Dottore believes himself...
Utter blasphemy.
While everyone was gone, Nefer and I made an interesting discovery. And I believe Miss Sandrone has something to share too.
Called it. Getting rid of a pesky troublemaker like her is like trying to clean up after a crumbly cake.
Our next step is to find a way to bring her back.
A place where time flows backwards, with no destination in sight. Surely it must have been created for a specific purpose. But I fear the answers are buried deep into Vat's history, held by great powers beyond our reach.
It sounds like she's on a specific path through time, just traveling in the opposite direction to us. The question is, where does that path lead? Or will it keep going to infinity?
We considered that question as well. Strictly speaking, time is not infinite.
Indeed not. Every road has an end.
Nicole! You sure loved quietly sneaking in mid-conversation.
I do, in fact. It's something I've always done at our mages' tea parties. Quiet, mysterious, and persuasive. You wonder what lies at the end of her road. Well, just as the world has a beginning and an end, so too does time. And so, the end of the road is the moment that Tevat was born. But where Miss Columbina will end up along this road, that depends on where this particular river of reverse time began.
What about the original moons and the moon goddesses? Do they have a beginning too?
All things do. In the beginning, no moons adorned the sky. It was the Dragon King Nibelung who raised the 3 moons into the heavens, and thus were the moon goddesses born. They were shadows of the planet, born to wield Nibelung's authority and oversee the world on his behalf. They were extensions of his will, manifestations, but then one day, they disappeared just as suddenly as they...
Like I thought, no more paths back to reality have emerged since. But how can I be sure that I'm going the right way without scenes from reality to keep me on track? I can't even be sure of how long I've been walking for. The further I travel, the less stable this space becomes. There are even... they can just materialize out of thin air. I have to keep my wits about me. Rerir of Solnari?
You're the moon goddess. But... please, there's no need. I
find that a little difficult.
The way you used my own power against me was... and then, in the final moment before I was thrown into this space...
Mr. Dainsleif.
Right. It was when I first got here. I was filled with hatred, remorse, and rage. How I cursed and devoured. I tore everything here apart. I was consumed by the desire to leave this place and have my vengeance. But to no avail. This is the second time I've entered this space. Though I have no memory of the... but this time I survived. It must be partly because of this new body. And partly because of all the Kuvaki I absorbed in Nodcry.
Are you the source of the abyssal power?
Not all of it. Some is from when I first arrived here and tried to destroy everything. But there was already a degree of abyssal power here, before I entered. And like a venomous snake...
Tried to?
Yes. Because after that, the world suddenly became silent for a moment.
What do you mean?
The voices in my head. And then...
Her?
The Lindis. My...
Nefer mentioned that she saw a memory of the Lindis leaping into the moon's reflection.
More precisely, I saw her afterimage. I'm sure the real her is long gone. She was just an ordinary... Anyway... Why have you come here?
If I hadn't escaped through the moon gate, my...
No.
What?
You'd like to know how I know. The one who resurrected me said so. I could hear a deep... Dottore. He'd been collecting fragments of my body for a long time. Also that I had no interest in his research. But being as corroded by the Abyss as I was, we were aligned as far as hunting the
So that's why the Wild Hunt suddenly became so active in Nodcry. When I left the Fatui in my weakened state.
Moon Goddess?
What?
I know this is a lot to ask, especially from someone who but this is the only thing I desire.
What do you...
I'd like you to take a message to Thalindis.
Thalindis?
Yes. She's dead. I can sense that some part of her...
Why don't you go and speak to her yourself?
I can't. I don't know why, but all I can see is a glimpse of her walking away. In return, I will clear the... No, not in return. Yeah. Why? I'm tired of it all. Tired of the person I became. People used me. I think I grew tired of it long ago.
What do you wish to tell?
All of it. My past.
Is it okay if I give... Like the part where you relentlessly tried to kill us?
It's a... Love demands honesty. But we hid too much from each other. But after living my whole life... There. The Abyss...
Even though Mr. Dainsliff felt he had to fight you, I think he still regarded you as a friend. He said that you betrayed him, but he also felt great remorse at never having understood.
Why?
Because... if he'd known that someone could take a message to you...
I know this will sound strange coming from me, but... don't die.
He kept his word. The Abyss is no longer obstructing my path. Is that the Lindis? She wasn't far off at all. Hello, Miss Thalindis.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
You can call me Columbina. I promised Rerir.
Rerir? My Rerir? Is he well?
He's...
better than he was, huh?
Others have had a rough time on his account too. In many cases. And I'm not just talking about the children of the Crimson.
So, things got worse before they got better.
Are you sure you wish to know?
Yes. This is my opportunity to learn the truth.
I admire your courage. However, time is short. Rerir had seeds of hatred in his heart, and many people nursed them for their own ends. But in the end, he came to regret his mistakes. Beyond that, he did not say, but I'm sure that you've always been on his mind. You are what has kept him going over all these...
I'm sorry, Miss Columbina,
It's all right. I understand. Well, that's
Wait!
Hmm?
Time flows backwards here. The road ahead only leads further and further.
I know. I intend to
Without a moon marrow, without the 3 moons' power, you won't make it far. Wait, unless... Are you one of the moon goddess?
You could say that.
I see. I often think to myself, if life is like a train ride, why? And it's not just me. It's this whole place, wherever it is. I must seem so ridiculous. I can't answer these basic questions, and yet I jumped right in here without hesitating, only to be torn apart the moment I entered by powerful energy currents. Thinking back, I was suddenly overcome with fear and terror in that moment. I used to be a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum in Conria, researching the iridescent moon's marrow. Rerir was one of the Finster King's retainers. I wanted to help him escape his lot in life. I wanted him to be happy. At the time, I thought I could just go back to the day that the Finster King first found the princess. It was only after meeting the princess that the Finster King started going too far with his research into the Abyss. That was the day
I couldn't kill the Finster King himself, so I had to find another way to save Rerir. That's why I wanted to go back, to kill the person who had brought new
I'm sure it was a futile endeavor, but the Abyss probably enhances the basest human desires. But I was simply too weak. Like a speck of dust against the whole universe. Look at me. I know I'm never getting out of here. But you're different. You can make it, and I want to help you.
How do you plan to help?
Have you noticed the golden energy that exists here? Based on my past research and my observations since coming here, I can share what I've learned, and help you understand the pattern in which the... I think you just might... Now, also, I've been speculating. The documentation was scanned, but from what I know of the legends about the moons, the oldest... I have no way of verifying any of it by this point. But if it's true, you...
Understood. Thank you, Miss Thelindis.
I'm the one who should be thanking you. If you hadn't entered this realm of everlasting death, what use would my deductions be? Think about Rerir.
It wasn't your fault.
That's not true. Because we both feared bringing trouble upon each other. Neither of us ever told the truth. But enough about that. I wish you... And may the outside world never have to experience pain like this again. Rerir? You're there. I cannot see you, because you exist in the future. I expect we'll be trapped in this prison of... But please, gaze upon the past, and then sit for a while. Let's find a place to sit down together, just like we did when we first met.
How long have I been walking? How much further till I reach the end? Is there even a... everything's getting blurry. Are you all right, little sis? Have you come from the distant future?
Did the moons just disappear? Shouldn't it?
The world is a vast and ancient place. On a certain scale,
Miss Nicole explained that the moon goddesses likely perished in the War of Funerary Flame. The moons themselves were also destroyed at that time, save for the frost moon, from which a new moon goddess was later born.
Am I missing something then? 'Cause the stories...
Why do their birthplaces differ? What's the difference between the two?
Also, remember what Sandrone said? Her scans detected 4 moon...
Technically, the result of the scan means that 4 moon marrows were detected and positively identified as moons in that moment. In other words, this piece of information alone isn't enough for us to know how Miss Columbina...
Yep. We have no way of staying up to date on whether she's dead or alive.
But at least she's trying her best to get back to us.
Yeah. She's a tough cookie. And a sore loser, too. We have to trust that she'll find a way. As much as it pains me to say it, we've got no chance of beating Dottore in a straight-up fight. He's much too powerful. That maniac is going to devour everything in his path until he reaches us. We need to find someone, or something that can stop him before he does anything. I'll be frank. Our only hope of defeating this false god is with a real moon goddess on our side. And I know that even she was no match for him when he attacked, but... I don't have...
We're not giving up on saving her, whether she can defeat Dottore or not.
Right. Don't worry, Miss Sandrone.
No one's trying to argue that we can only justify saving our friend because it will help save the world. This is about multitasking.
So... she's more than just...
Absolutely.
Duh! She's part of the king! And you are too, you know.
Yes, I know. You don't need to labor the point. I knew that the moment I came running over with my documents that I was part of the in-group. I mean, if Arlecchino can fit in, Anyway, as for how we get Columbina back, I've been working on it constantly. I'd probably get there if I could continue my calculations, but the problem is...
Computing power? You mean, you need more energy?
No, the issue isn't energy, it's processing power. There's so much data to get through that the whole...
That's a tricky problem.
René de Petrichor of the Nazissenkreuz Ordo once foretold the fate of the world. But I don't know how he did it. My guess is that he used the primordial sea's power. However, that won't work for me. His methodology was vastly different from my own. What's worse, they're incompatible. Ugh, this is so annoying. If I'd known we'd run into a bottleneck like this... Well, no, the design bureau's a bust as well. Curse that Dottore! Couldn't have made this harder for me if he tried.
Oh, what do we do then?
You don't get it, do you? And I need accurate results, not vague prophecies. Where the heck am I gonna find the computing power for that? Anyway, time to shelve the...
Either way, we've done what we can. Rest well, everyone.
Hat guy? Is he hinting that we should talk?
Let's go somewhere a little... You know that Dory went back to Sumeru?
Yeah, she mentioned she was planning to head back.
Things aren't looking good for Notcry. She's gone to spread the word so that Sumeru has it. From what I know of Dottore, there are 2 possible reasons why he hasn't made a move yet. One is that he's still working through some kinks in his new powers. The other is, he wants to see how we're going to react. He'll easily devour everything eventually. So I guess he's in no rush. The first false god he made was me. Now it's his turn. Even though my records were erased from Irminsul, Dottore, he once told me that becoming a god was like turning yourself into a hungry wolf or giant serpent to devour the moon. Clearly, he began studying the moon goddess's powers long before he even tried making a god. He's always wanted to get his greedy hands on divine authority one way or another. And in the end, he devoured the moon where I failed. In the desert of Sumeru, there is a chessboard built by King Deshret, also known as Al-Ahmar. I don't know if it was a real game, or if he was just trying to challenge his servants and citizens in some way. But creating games and setting rules, gods do that as a matter of course. That's the kind of power Dottore craves. Now he has the Trilunar Authority. His power is leagues beyond the common people. I don't think there's any point in other nations rushing to the front line. They're better off focusing on defense and hoping they can fend off any threats that spill out from Nodcry. Either way, Dori will inform Lesser Lord Kusanali, and she will contact the other gods. The Seven will have some recourse available. If nothing else, their protection should keep the rest of the world from descending into chaos as quickly. So on the bright side, even if Nodcry is doomed, your friends in other nations won't be in any...
That's good to know. But...
There's a word for people who refuse to let anything go. It's called being greedy.
Maybe it sounds greedy to you, and probably naive too. But whatever you call it, that's what gives me. Battles are fleeting, but the will to fight is a long-term commitment. Give up for even a moment, and your resolve will shatter.
Why do you always feel the need to do the right thing? No one is born to be a savior. I mean, who's gonna criticize you if you fail, or give up?
Don't take this the wrong way, but Dottore said something similar to me. I guess the Fatui attracts people who don't believe in saviors.
Not necessarily. It's less about belief for me. I just want to know how determined you really are. After all, I don't owe anything to anyone else here. Only you.
You look kinda worried.
If your arch-nemesis was about to achieve their ultimate goal, I think you might feel a little worried too.
That's true. Dottore is about to become an omniscient, omnipotent deity. That's gotta be a bitter pill to swallow. Still, you're calmer than I expected.
Obviously. I have to admit that my past self was a reckless fool who misunderstood not only the point of revenge. In as much as I want my vengeance, I know I'm not gonna get it by acting alone. Too bad it never taught me any other virtues, though. So, I am going...
So, what's...
I'll get to that. First.
Just like Paimon said, she's a friend.
How much do you trust her? This is a serious question.
Although she's with the Fatui, she has her own values, and she's helped us a lot. If nothing else, she's clearly... I see no reason not to trust her.
If you say so. In that case, the three of us need to talk. I have some thoughts about her computing. It can be solved.
How much? If I can afford...
Sometimes your heroism really... Come on. Let's go talk to her.
Miss Sandrone, Traveler.
Hey there.
Paimon's here too! She was just helping them sort through their things.
That was fast.
Well, you said it was urgent, so we got here.
Albedo, I have some alchemy questions for you.
I see. Looks like my knowledge... If I might ask, what is the end?
I needed to predict the future of the entire world. But I've run into some teething issues since trying to implement Renee's theory of the four Orthants.
I see. I'll have a look at it. Still, computing power...
About that, it's been sorted.
Oh, with the Traveler's help?
Actually, you're not wrong. He found the person.
Was it Hat Guy?
Yeah, it was him.
Wow! Go, Hat Guy!
But where is he? Wasn't he the one who asked Albedo and I to come here?
Come with me.
Hat Guy? What's...
Hat Guy! Can you hear? No response.
Hat Guy mentioned that he was a puppet. It seems that his functions are currently shut down. I presume this has something to do with the solution to your computing problem.
That's right. He and the Traveler came to see me. Wait, what? You have a solution?
Would you calm down? Why do you always...
Excuse me? How would you know? You shouldn't be so quick to...
Oh, please. It doesn't take...
Where does a mere student get that kind of confidence?
I've actually published more papers than you. Not that status counts for much. Even Paimon's applied for academia admission.
Huh? Are you serious?
See? This is why I can't be bothered to explain myself. She recognizes no one's...
Okay, fine. I'll hear you out. So, tell me, how do you propose to solve my computer?
This world itself is constantly processing all kinds of information. If it's the world's future you're trying to calculate...
Easier said than done. Only Irminsul can... Wait, is that what you're suggesting? But surely we can't...
You should be able to tell that I'm not human.
Yeah, I noticed. The technology, though, seems pretty ancient. Very different from
Conrian, to be precise. I'm what they would have called a puppet. Puppets need an energy source and processing power. The artisans who built them sought out the materials most suited for that.
You.
The Traveler and I have talked it over. He's willing to vouch for you. So, I'll allow you to borrow my core for your calculations. It was built using wood from a silver white tree, which makes it a small part of
Conrian technology and Irminsul wood. Are you sure about this? A puppet without its core will cease functioning completely.
I can put two and two together.
I won't lie to you. This has never been done before.
Doesn't matter.
Did you two actually talk this through?
Yes, we discussed it. The bottom line is, Let's give it a shot, shall we?
Honestly, I have no clue where this kid even came from. But for whatever reason, he lent me his core to use them. I'm very close to finishing my calculations now, and the core is currently in use. So I'm sorry, but I can only... This is what the core looks like.
A silver white branch. It certainly...
Is Hat Guy gonna be okay?
He's not gonna die, right?
In theory, he should be fine. Beyond that, all I can say is that I'll try my best to avoid risk and make sure that...
I think I know why you called us here now. Someone needs to watch over his body.
Correct. He said that the only ones he trusts here are you two, and the Traveler.
He will have our undivided attention.
Aww. Hey! On a more positive note, things are progressing steadily on my end. I'll call everyone in for a meeting once the results are out.
The worst-case scenario with the core removal is either a system reset or a total loss of function. But I'm not afraid. A quiet death should have been my fate long ago. A core is completely different from a heart. It's like another vital organ entirely. But in the end, it turns out the core was more useful to me. Do you think there's any difference between a puppet and a human? If not, I have already experienced both a past life and a next life. Part of me wonders whether I'm only capable of making this decision because I've become a real human. What's with that expression?
Sandrone will succeed, won't she?
She will. We all have to
That's right. And I'll protect